Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Jesse Daley here in the Caribbean. Welcome back to Daily Weather. I appreciate your being here. My friends, we do have a few things to talk about today in the Atlantic Basin and also in the Eastern Pacific Basin. And we're going to start right here over near the Bay of Campeche. As of 8 a.m. on Friday, June 27th, the National Hurricane Center has said that an area of disorganized showers and thunderstorms over the northwestern Caribbean Sea and the adjacent land areas is expected to move west-northwest into the Bay of Campeche Saturday or Saturday night, where an area of low pressure could form. Subsequent development is impossible on Sunday or Monday if the system remains offshore off the coast of Mexico, where there's a lot of warm water in that area, and the winds should not be that strong, so the area could be conducive for cyclonic development. However, regardless of development, the National Hurricane Center has noted that locally heavy rains are possible over portions of Belize, Guatemala, and southeastern Mexico during the next few days. So definitely something to take a look at here and to watch. I do want to show you the latest satellite imagery of that area that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring, which is right in here. If you can see near the Gulf, near the Bay of Campeche, there's a bunch of thunderstorm activity happening, and this system that the National Hurricane Center is monitoring is expected to move into the Gulf, and then maybe we'll see some development. But we'll keep an eye on it regardless. Again, there's a lot of moisture over here in the Western Caribbean. This actually isn't super surprising. The global forecast system had been monitoring this area for quite some time, and I'm actually quite impressed that the GFS was able to show that something did start to develop even here we are at the end of June. I also want to show you this is a wide view of the Atlantic Basin and also the Eastern Pacific Basin. Infrared satellite imagery. We can see the area near the Bay of Campeche that I was just looking at and showing you. We also have a tropical wave in the Atlantic. I'm in the U.S. Virgin Islands, but we have a little wave over in the Atlantic here. This is actually not supposed to, or not expected to, develop significantly. It's moving. It's currently around 50 degrees west longitude. It will actually impact us in the Virgin Islands, but not substantially. At this time, it is not expected to develop too much. A lot of that has to do with high pressure over the Atlantic, creating some gusty winds, and also dry air with some Saharan dust. And you may even hear the wind going on outside my place here in the Virgin Islands. Now, I also want to show you in the Eastern Pacific Basin. This area has been so busy, and we can see moisture in the Eastern Pacific on the Pacific side of Mexico as well. And actually, it's important to point out that the National Hurricane Center is continuing to monitor an area over in the Eastern Pacific for development. There's got a 90% chance now for cyclonic development in the next few days. If this does develop into a tropical storm with maximum sustained winds of at least 39 miles per hour, it will be given the name Flossie, which would be the sixth named system of the Eastern Pacific hurricane season this year. That's really a lot so far, so early on in the season. So definitely something to keep an eye on as well. I also wanted to just quickly take you over to a run of the global forecast system. This is courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. Actually, all of the satellite imagery has been courtesy of tropicaltidbits.com. Love this site so much. This is a quick run of the global forecast system, the GFS for short, which was initialized at 00 Zulu time on June 27th, which was actually last night, 8 p.m. East Coast time on Thursday night. I'm just going to show you what the global forecast system anticipates could occur over the next few days. Again, I am in the United States Virgin Islands in the Eastern Caribbean. So let's take a look at what the GFS believes could happen. We're going to now look here ahead to Saturday, June 28th. Keep an eye on the Bay of Campeche and also the East Pac over here, Eastern Pacific, and we see a bunch of moisture develop. However, it is notable that, at least on this run of the GFS, nothing really substantial gets together in the Gulf here. So again, it could certainly happen, but definitely interesting that it doesn't really come together too substantially. However, in the Eastern Pacific, we've got potentially we got Flossie over here. Again, that sixth named storm, which may develop. And as we move forward into Thursday, July 3rd, which is Emancipation Day here in the U.S. Virgin Islands, a holiday here, and also into July 4th, of course, Independence Day. Happy holidays, Emancipation Day and Independence Day to everybody. Again, lots of moisture in the Eastern Pacific moving forward in July 5th. Look at the high pressure still in the Atlantic. Lots happening with the high pressure breeze and dust. But look at this, my friends. We got around the July 8th time, we've got a couple systems we're watching again off the in the Eastern Pacific. By the way, the off the East Coast, the southeast of the USA is also an area that we need to watch moving into the next week or so. That's been flagged by in the last Global Tropics Hazards Outlook, and I'll talk about that in just a minute again. But we'll keep an eye on that for everybody in that area too, for possibly something that could develop into July here. So here we are, July 11th, still relatively quiet, at least in the most of the Atlantic Basin. Moisture for sure, but nothing too substantial coming together. Now, as I mentioned, over in the previous Global Tropics Hazards Outlook, I actually posted a video about this on Tuesday, and I will on Tuesday the 24th when this was released. And while nothing has actually been highlighted on this map for going into July 2nd to the 8th, except for in the Eastern Pacific. It was mentioned in the discussion that meteorologists put together for the Global Tropics Hazards Outlook that something could potentially organize off the southeast coast of the U.S. somewhere around the 2nd to the 4th, 5th time of July. So that first week of July, I'll be watching that really closely. I'll be keeping all of you posted. And then as we move further into July, as of the June 24th, this update, no cyclonic development is expected really across either basin, Atlantic or Eastern Pacific. This can change really quickly, my friends. I mean, honestly, take this with a grain of salt. I love this product from the Climate Prediction Center, but as we just saw with the area in the Atlantic near the Bay of Campeche, this was something that was really not even highlighted by, except for a couple of runs of the global forecast system. It's been watching the Western Caribbean, but this was just kind of popped up late last night. So things can change very, very quickly. That's why it's important to make sure to continuously follow and monitor the National Hurricane Center. If you enjoyed this video, my friends, I would really appreciate it if you hit that subscribe button and that notification bell. I will be here in the Caribbean throughout hurricane season, and I will keep you posted on what's going on over here in the Atlantic Basin and also in other areas of the tropics. Thanks so much for watching, my friends, and as always, I will keep an eye on the tropical skies come rain or shine.